Perfection is a pretty subjective term, especially in the world of watchmaking, but I think Christopher Ward have nailed it. Stick around because you need to be considering this watch for your collection. Hi guys, my name's Jason, I'm your watch guy today. The revival of integrated bracelets on watches is coming to an end. As we leave the 70s inspired hype behind us, we've been left with some incredible pieces. However, I think that Christopher Ward have used this inspiration to create the perfect everyday watch. Let's turn the camera around and have a look at it. This little beauty is the 1236mm in Glacier Blue. This is available in a few different configurations and different colours, ranging from £850 on a rubber band all the way up to £1,595, and that will get you the titanium cased variant, which has this really beautiful purple fumé dial that I'm a little bit obsessed with, if I'm honest. The one on screen that you can see today would set you back £1,050, and I think it's well worth it. I've lived through the PRX hype, and when I finally bought one to try out, I was completely disappointed by it. After hearing so many raving reviews and so many good things said about it, it didn't do much for me at all. Taking this 12 out of the box, well, it was the complete opposite effect. Taking its name from the 12 sides around the bezel that it has, this is what the gentle enthusiasts of us really did want. Packed with a Sellita SW200 movement and an exceptional level of finishing throughout the casing you rarely see at this type of price. The smaller fit to this watch really makes it an ideal wear for me. The robust nature of this casing is really epitomised by these crown guards that sit either side of the slightly oversized crown. They're strong in nature, however, elegantly curved and polished to the sides. It's really smooth, the curvature to the casing. The brushing on this casing is really framed by the high polished contrast, and it really makes it stand out. The screw down crown, the display case back, the sapphire crystal and the rest of this casing provides the watch with 100 meters of water resistance. This beautifully sized sports watch comes in at a diameter of 37.6mm if you include the crown guards, 10.3mm thick, 40.7mm lug to lug, and these inverted lugs are 14mm lugs. Really does wear beautifully to this. The multi-layer casing gives the illusion that this watch is even slimmer. Again, it helps the 12 mix in both sports watch and elegant dress watch world equally as well. This could be the perfect active and cocktail night wear. The dial in this watch takes it to another level in my opinion. The cross embossing to the dial gives that much needed feature to the watch. Tooth-like indices are applied with a brushed finish and polished outer edge to them, which just pushes the level of elegance to this piece. The Alpha handset has a bold nature to carry the dial. Completing this dial is the Christopher Ward logo applied to the dial in a brushed finish, which again just adds a level of elegance to that finishing. Now obviously you want to see the lume on this watch, so let's get these lights out and have a look at it. The blue lume really does the job here, and it almost plays in with that Glacier Blue dial. I absolutely love it. It's very well spread, as you would expect from Christopher Ward, as you'd expect for a £1,000 watch. It's also bright enough for you to assume that this is a really high quality piece. Now obviously it's not the most inventive lume shot in the world, and it doesn't really have to be for this piece. Overall, I think I'd have to give this one a 7.5. Does everything perfectly well. It's just a simple lume shot, that's all. So it's not something out of this world, but it does what it's meant to. The bracelet on this watch is incredibly well done. It's exactly the style that you would expect from a Magenta inspired piece. The finishing and fit is a step above many in the market at the same type of price range. A butterfly clasp isn't usually something that I would enjoy on a watch, but the mid links that they've put into this piece really do make it much more wearable and much easier to get a good size on. The curvature to the bottom of the links on this bracelet make it much more comfortable on wrist, takes away any of the risk of pulled hairs, and it just adds that level of quality that you know that you're going to get when you buy a Christopher Ward watch. And if a bracelet isn't for you, this also comes on a rubber band. And if you fancy a bit of both, well, we do have quick release spring bars in this watch, which makes it much easier to switch in and out of a bracelet and a band. A band for the day and a bracelet for the night, I think, would be an excellent choice. Enough talking, let's get this one on wrist. That is an absolutely beautiful wear. I am genuinely thinking of picking one of these up for myself. This watch oozes style and elegance all in one. As I mentioned earlier, this is the ideal wear for myself. If you have larger wrists, then definitely have a look at the 40mm. Probably be more likely to be your ideal sizing. This watch certainly scratches that Genta style itch, and I think it's probably one of my favourites from Christopher Ward to date. Now we have a moan section to get to. This certainly isn't the easiest piece to criticise. It's really well done. Once you get past the whole design critique of it, it looks like this, it looks like that, why isn't it more original? Well, you get into this actual watch and you can see the absolute quality of it, the absolute beauty of the piece, and you can see that Christopher Ward have gone in their own direction with it and definitely span their own design elements into the watch. I expect a lot of people will compare this to the PRX Powermatic 80 when it comes to the pricing. Yes, it's coming in at near double the price, but I think it's worth it in the terms of the quality, the fit, and the overall essence to the piece. It has a completely different vibe to it. You can tell with the Tissot that it is an affordable watch while on wrist, but in this case, the CW is completely different. It gives you that luxury feel a Swiss-made watch should at this price. Another thing to note is the butterfly clasp. Not everyone is a fan. This one does fit really well because of those mid links, but again, I know it's going to be a downfall for some people. Overall, this watch just shows me how far Christopher Ward have come over the last few years. The quality keeps improving, the imagination keeps coming, but the pricing is still relatively the same. It's almost like magic, and that's exactly what I expect from Christopher Ward. That's it, guys. The 12 from Christopher Ward. It's an absolute stunner of a watch, and I completely understand the hype around it. It's incredible and well worth the £1,000 in my humble opinion. All the links that you need to the Christopher Ward website, my own online store, etc. are below. Remember, like the video, leave me a comment on your opinion of this piece and Christopher Ward as a whole if you will. Subscribe to the channel to see plenty more of my content, and I will see you in the next one.